Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. Brandon Adams are considering fights for Triple G and Jermall Charlo. So now Brandon Adams actually has offers on the table from Gennady Golovkin and Jermall Charlo. And the funny thing about Brandon Adams, he's 21-2 with 13 knockouts. Now, a lot of people would look at Brandon Adams and they would end up calling him a tomato can, a bum. He's not a world level fighter. He's not an elite fighter. He's not a top fighter. And, you know, Dontae's Biased Nation already came out and stated that Triple G is going to look for an easy route. He's not going to look to fight the best. He's going to continue to duck Jermall Charlo. He's going to continue to duck Demetrius Andre. He's going to continue to duck the big fights, the best fight, and Triple G's a ducker, and that he's not going to try to fight the best competition available. But what do you see here? That Brandon Adams is considering offers from Triple G and Jermall Charlo. So that means that Triple G and Jermall Charlo both have made offers for Brandon Adams. Now, if you notice that Dontae's Biased Nation is eerily quiet on this topic because he's not wanting to entertain the fact that Jermall Charlo is picking the same path as Triple G. But here's the difference between Triple G and Jermall Charlo, and let's explain why this one offer is completely different for each fighter. If you look at Triple G is coming off of 2 hard fights with Canelo Alvarez. You know, and his most recent fight with Canelo Alvarez was probably the most grueling fight he's ever been in, where he's took considerably more damage than he's ever taken in his whole career. And then he's had this long layoff since the fight. So Triple G is looking for a tune-up fight. Why would you expect him to jump right back into a high-level fight without a tune-up? Now, on the other end, when you look at Jermall Charlo and you look at the fights that he's taken most recently against a Matt Korobov who most people feel arguably beat him, and if not beat him, basically came very, very close to beating him within a round or two. So regardless on how you see it, you saw that Jermall Charlo did not look very well against Matt Korobov, and you saw that, you know, Jermall Charlo basically has a career full of tune-ups. He's never faced an elite level fighter, a top level fighter, and so you would expect Jermall Charlo to be looking for the bigger and better fights, especially at this point in his career where he's at his prime and he needs the bigger fights. He needs to be involved in huge paydays and things of that nature. But Triple G has already been world champion at 160 pounds, a full-fledged champion. He's already unified belt at middleweight, and he's already proven that he's a top fighter at the middleweight division, probably one of the most powerful guys, one of the most avoided guys. So Triple G has established a reputation at middleweight, and he's looking for a tune-up fight. But what I don't understand is why Jermall Charlo is looking for a tune-up fight after being called out by Danny Jacobs and not entertaining the fight, and then Danny Jacobs moves on and has a fight set with Canelo Alvarez, and after being called out by Demetrius Andre but not even acknowledging that call out, why is Jermall Charlo not looking for the big best fights? Why is Jermall Charlo looking for a tune-up fight in Bryan Adams when he just had a showcase fight against a Matt Korobov, which is another tune-up fight? Just because it was a difficult tune-up fight doesn't mean it wasn't a tune-up fight. And whereas Dontae's Biased Nation with the report in the news bashing and slamming Triple G when both of these guys are going after the same opponent, Dontae will not speak on this because he's biased. He doesn't want to entertain this, and if he does, I guarantee you he's going to spin this narrative into something it's not. Because if you look at it honestly and unbiasedly, is that when Jermall Charlo lost, or actually at least had a very difficult fight against a Matt Korobov, and Jermall Charlo lost, Dontae was nowhere to be found. And so if you look at this situation, it's the same thing. When he gets caught in a situation and he realizes that he's just a fanboy for the PBC, Jermall Charlo has a career full of tune-ups. He's not looking for the biggest and best fights. He's not even moving to the zone to acquire or get those fights. He's not willing to move over from one fight deal. These guys are PBC fanboys, and anybody that supports that is a fanboy. And we have to be honest and unbiased when we speak on the truth. Triple G is looking for a tune-up before a big fight, and Jermall Charlo is looking to continue his string of career runs of nothing but tune-ups. Once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.